When it comes to weight loss, no two people are the same. That's why Noom builds personalized plans based on your unique psychology and biology. Take Brittany. After years of unsustainable diets, Noom helped her lose 20 pounds and keep it off.
I was definitely in a yo-yo cycle for years of just losing weight, gaining weight, and it was exhausting.
And Stephanie. She's a former D1 athlete who knew she couldn't outtrain her diet, and she lost 38 pounds.
My relationship to food before Noom was never consistent.
And Evan, he can't stand salads, but he still lost 50 pounds with Noom.
I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. Even through the pickiness, Noom taught me that building better habits builds a healthier lifestyle. I'm not doing this to get to a number. I'm doing this to feel better.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom users compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
On today's Smart 7, world leaders gather to mark Armistice Day. Trump charges ahead with deportation plan and lots more. It's Tuesday, 12th of November. It's Odd Socks Day and happy birthday, Anne Hathaway.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Monday saw Armistice Day in Europe and Veterans Day in the US to mark the anniversary of the end of the First World War. The occasion saw US President Biden head to Arlington Cemetery, and he was accompanied by Vice President Harris for her first public appearance since she lost the election.
This is the last time I will stand here at Arlington as Commander-in-Chief. It's been the greatest honor of my life to care for you, to defend you, just as you defended us, generation after generation after generation.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer headed to France, where he marked the day with French President Macron in a show of unity as the political climate becomes increasingly uncertain since the election of Donald Trump. As two of the biggest European powers in NATO, they also discussed Ukraine, the Middle East, and the plan to tackle cross-channel smuggling gangs. Defence Minister John Healey says it's a significant moment.
This is a mark of the close relationship between the two leaders, but also the historic bonds between our two countries and between our two militaries. So Keir Starmer being the first leader since Churchill to join the French commemorations in Paris of Armistice Day is very fitting.
Donald Trump has been tucked away in Mar-a-Lago since his election victory, but he appears to be actually working hard on the plans for his presidency. He's been firing out announcements of key positions, with New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik due to become US Ambassador to the UN, and Lee Zeldin to be appointed as the lead for the Environmental Protection Agency. He's also set to appoint Tom Homan, former policeman and acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, from his first term as the new border czar. Homan, author of Project 2025 Seas, is committed to what he called the biggest deportation force the country has ever seen, and he's not too worried about opposition from Democrats either.
I've seen some of these Democratic governors say they're going to stand in the way, they're going to make it hard for us. Well, if you're not going to help us, get the hell out of the way, but we're going to do it.
Over the weekend, Tory Shadow Foreign Secretary Priti Patel had floated the idea of making Donald's buddy Nigel Farage the new UK ambassador to the US, but Shadow Financial Secretary Gareth Davies was quick to shoot that idea down.
I think our links to the United States, to the Republican Party and to President-elect Trump's new administration would be strong enough that we don't require the services of Nigel Farage. We have a long-standing record in government and relationships with our friends and allies across the pond, and we don't require those services.
As Trump plots and plans for his presidency, it was reported that he'd called Vladimir Putin and warned the Russian president not to escalate things in Ukraine. Trump famously promised during his campaign that he'd solve Russia's war on Ukraine within 24 hours, but it's still not clear how he is intending to do that. Last week saw Putin complimenting Trump on his win, but things went off the rails a little on Monday as Russia pushed back on the story about a Putin-Trump call. Vladimir's spokesman Dmitry Peskov was pretty definitive in his denial of the story.
This is the most obvious example of the quality of information that is now being published. It is completely untrue. It is pure fiction. That is, it is simply false information.
The level of aid reaching Gaza has hit a new low in the last few weeks, with less than 9,000 tonnes of food aid arriving into the region so far this month. That's despite a US ultimatum that gave Israel 30 days to improve the flow of aid or face sanctions and potential bans on arms shipments. That ultimatum expires on November 13th, but it's not clear what will happen next. Meanwhile, after Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu sacked his defence minister, his new appointment Israel Katz has been focused on the ongoing conflict in Lebanon.
We defeated Hezbollah, and the elimination of Hassan Nasrallah was the crowning achievement. Now it is our job to continue the pressure to materialize the fruits of this victory.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Gary Lineker hangs up his sports jacket and the celebs get ready for the jungle right after this.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Welcome back.
Regular football is on another break for the next 2 weeks as the Nations League swings back into action, but there was plenty of big football news on Monday anyway. Firstly, Match of the Day host and podcast boss Gary Lineker announced he's hanging up his sports jacket at the end of the season after 25 years of Saturday night highlights. Then interim Man United boss Ruud van Nistelrooy got his marching papers from Old Trafford as new coach Ruben Amorim arrived in Manchester. Ruud had 3 wins and a draw in his 4 matches in charge, but the new boss says while he's grateful, it's time for a new broom.
I feel ready for the new challenge. I'm not naive. I know that it's going to be very different, very tough, but I feel that I'm ready. I can focus on my new job. I'm looking forward for start.
There are some sure signs that Christmas is on the way. Maybe you've just finished taking down the Halloween decorations, a certain coffee shop has started adding gingerbread to everything, or it's time for the return of I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. Well, get those jingle bells ready because Ant and Dec are packed for Australia and I'm a Celeb is due to hit our screens next Sunday. They've announced the campmates, which include a boxer, a girl boss, a couple of loose women and Colleen Rooney.
I've always been terrified to do this show and I always said, oh my God, I'd never do it. I had so many fears about it.
I've been camping once and I said never, never, ever again will I do anything outdoors.
What if there is something living inside the dunny? Although, to be honest, with my nether regions descending, I think they're going to be a lot more frightened than I am.
Incredible as it may seem, Tom Cruise has been running through cities at high speed for almost 30 years as Ethan Hunt. But now the Mission Impossible movie series is finally coming to an end, with the 8th and final movie due to drop next year. It's the 17th highest grossing movie series ever, and it has made over $4 billion to date. The final movie is technically the second part of 2023's Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. It's now known as The Final Reckoning, and Cruise is joined once again by Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, Hayley Atwell and Vanessa Kirby. It hits cinemas next May.
You've always been on the right side, brother. I have no regrets. Neither should you. I need you to trust me. One last time.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
You might not realize it, but most people have damaged hair. Damage gives you that frizzy, dull, and lackluster look. But there's a new way to fix it. You can reverse damage from the inside for hair like new with K18. Powered by biotech, the patented technology works in minutes. You may have heard of the TikTok viral K18 mask. It's won tons of awards, stylists love it, and it's available now at K18hair.com, Sephora, and salons nationwide. Get 10% off your first order with code PODCAST10 at K18hair.com.